The day has finally come. Upcoming Mods episode 195. I know a lot of us have been anticipating this date. This episode is going to be a pretty big deal for many of you. Is it going to be different than any of the other episodes? No, not really. You know what this is going to be? The only episode 195 I ever post of upcoming mods on this channel. Actually, sometimes I forget to change the title number on the next episode, so there may be one more of these, but it's going to be special, don't worry. And for this special episode, I have a very special goal. If we could hit this video to 1,500 likes, I will make another video. And if we don't hit it, well, it was a good run, guys. But right now, the ball's in your court. My hands are tied. It's been a little while since I covered Fallout Cascadia. Whenever I have large gaps in between videos, you guys always just assume the mods are dead or never coming back. But this one actually did pull through, and what we're seeing are some cool new features coming with this epic mod bringing us to Seattle. One of the first things they're showing off is traits. So traits are making a return. They did appear in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and with Fallout Cascadia, we're getting them back in Fallout 4's engine. Do you want to be skilled but not experienced? Well, then I guess you're just going to have to download Fallout Cascadia, because right now it's going to be the only way you can do that. Actually, no, all these traits are just placeholders. They'll probably be different ones once the mod actually comes out. In addition, we actually get a few images of some of the different quests, or what looks like an in-progress quest, or at least speaking to an NPC. And what these images do confirm is that profanities are going to be coming in Fallout Cascadia, but not in this video. Oh no. We still don't know a ton about the story, but based on some of the images we're seeing, it definitely seems like that Seattle fog will be coming with this mod. I'm not sure if there are any teasers in the background of these images. Nothing immediately popped out to me. Then we have the next very exciting mod coming from Dapple92. If you guys don't know, this is the guy that made the Concrete Jungle, which is more or less a massive overhaul of Spectacle Island. And what this is going to be is the Boston Zoo, because who doesn't like zoos, honestly? To be totally clear, what you're really looking at is a settlement build in Fallout 4, so it's going to be a mod you can download, and you'll see these structures in your game at whatever location it is occupying. Only some of you may remember this, but Fallout 4 actually does have a built-in mechanic to capture animals in cages. It'd be kind of cool if you could have that built into this zoo somehow and then release them in their little cage. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like there is definitely some opportunity to create this as a legitimate zoo in the game. Either way, all of Dapple's settlement builds have been pretty epic, and I imagine this one's going to be no exception. But at number 3, we have one that I know a lot of you animals are going to like, and it's going to be a new type of Assaultron in Fallout 4. You may be thinking to yourself, wait a second, that doesn't really look like an Assaultron. Well, it is, and take my word for it. This is by a mod author named Justice123, and this mod author makes a very particular type of mod. It's really only going to be for the die-hard Fallout fans out there, those who really study the lore and want to stay friendly to it. So maybe thinking, hey, isn't this one of those mods that you'd probably pass up? And maybe you're right. But at the same time, I'm trying to appeal to all audiences, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that, even though you won't admit it, actually do use these types of mods, because I see how often they make the hot files on Nexus. And even beyond that, a lot of this mod author's mods are actually stupendously high quality. They're of a unique taste, but I without a doubt can appreciate the effort and work that does go into them. And then even beyond that, we don't have too many custom robots or NPCs in general for Fallout 4, so any addition, even something like this, is a welcome one, I think. So we got a pseudo update to the Power Armor lore restored. This is a mod that I've showed you quite a few times on this channel in this series, and it all around is pretty cool. As you could probably guess from the title, it's aiming to restore a lot of the different features that was available or present with Power Armors in previous iterations of the game, but that weren't present with Fallout 4. The mod author on this one actually took a bit of a break, and as of yesterday was not going to continue work with the mod. But now he's kind of changed gears, maybe due to the response from the community, and rather he is just recruiting more members to actually help him with this mod. He quite clearly outlines the scope of this and exactly what he wants to accomplish here, such as overhauling where and when Power Armor spawns, where and when the paint job spawns. So there's actually a challenge associated with getting some of those more obscure paint jobs rather than just having them be readily available in the crafting table, and many other things. I could probably take 3 to 4 minutes to read his entire write-up, but it is very well detailed, and if you are interested in helping out or have any skills in Fallout 4 modding, then I would recommend checking out his post and seeing if you can lend a hand or if you just want to. Do you like hats? I like hats. I actually wear a hat almost every single day, just a plain black hat because I'm classy. Well, now you can actually wear a almost plain black hat in Fallout 4. What it's going to be is a new mod by HN66 and Monkey Spunk. If you guys don't know, both of these mod authors have a pretty good reputation as far as modding goes. They have some pretty awesome releases under their belt, and that gets me very excited for this one. What's going to be is Steampunk Hats. This one's actually a little bit on the complex side, so bear with me for a second as I try to explain. There's a full write-up on the page down below, but more or less, it's going to be a mod attempting to add in hats of a steampunk theme into Fallout 4. They don't mention how many hats are going to be coming, but they do mention this one is called Slash, and then I of course showed you that other one, which I assume is with the mod. It's not actually labeled anywhere, but they look similar, so it probably is from the Steampunk Hats mod. We just got some Cyberpunk content from Nero, so it seems only fitting that now we get some steampunk content from HN66 and Monkey Spunk. So for this one, I gotta apologize. I did you guys a disservice. I showed you a mod that was mediocre, that wasn't up to its highest quality, and I understand why that wasn't okay. But today, I'm here to rectify that. That with the War Rig Overhaul. As the mod author says himself, the last War Rig was mediocre. Now this is the real War Rig. I mean, I thought the last one was pretty cool, but hey, it's his words, not mine. Either way, what we got are a ton of additional images of this War Rig coming to Fallout 4. What actually changed from the last one to this one? Well, the front is now more looking like the War Rig. He removed the semi-truck aspects of the old one completely and remade the entire interior. And the entire truck now is actually made up of individual parts. It's a lot more custom. And he added in many of the details that do appear in the Mad Max Fury Road movie, but weren't present on the previous edition of this War Rig. The takeaway being, it looks absolutely amazing. As I mentioned last time, I really don't care all that much as to how this is going to work in game. I think even just having this as a prop in your settlement will look really cool, especially with Nuka World. You can align with the raiders. How fitting would this be for a raider settlement, just to be parked out front? No one would want to mess with you if Fallout 4 AI was smart enough to realize how menacing this thing is. But actually, there's a bit more. And I don't even just mean the characters associated with some of these images, but the cars. So this mod, in addition to the War Rig, is going to include a bunch of Mad Max themed cars also, and these things look awesome. They actually look fairly similar to what Fallout Miami was doing, so if these two mod authors or the people on Fallout Miami want to connect with this guy, I think that'd be a good idea. The cars themselves have a ton of great features, and I think it's going to be a ton of fun to look at this in game. Again, it's not entirely clear what the scope or exactly what this mod is going to do. I presume, or have been presuming, that it's going to add in a bunch of settlement objects, or at least things placed around the map. Maybe this will be a custom settlement you can get yourself. But either way, just the quality that he's bringing to the table here with all this custom work, I think is pretty awesome, and I'm very excited to actually get to see it in game. So this last one is pretty special, and not in the ways the previous one was. So what we're seeing is actually a combination of a bunch of mods in this image set, some of which we haven't seen in a very long time. The images themselves are actually to show off the Cross 2077, a new armor released by Nero, bringing in some cool stuff from Cyberpunk 2077 into Fallout 4 with some new themes. I made a full video on it yesterday if you want to check it out. But we also see the Kairos body, which is more or less going to be this cyborg style body that you actually can use on your characters. It is in a beta release right now, and I also covered it in the last episode of this series if you want to check out that one. The helmet and equipment this guy does have in his hands are what make this image particularly interesting. So the helmet is actually the Cyberpunk 2077 helmet. I showed you guys it a very long time ago, funnily enough, in a video where I was showing mods that never actually got released. And in that very same video, I also showed you the M20, another mod that we saw some work in progress photos of, but that went dark for 6 to 12 months. And I also said, hey, this is never getting released, or it hasn't been updated in a very long time. Well, lo and behold, reverse psychology obviously does work, and now we get some images of both of these in 2018. There's really no details on this image about those two mods. I just wanted to show off the image because, one, I think the image set looks awesome with all the different equipment being used, and in addition, just the level of quality here is quite amazing. And between the helmet, the outfit, and the body type that is being used, and all of that comes together to hold these two awesome pieces of equipment. I feel like it's a great example of how awesome Fallout 4 modding is, and hopefully we'll see releases on all of this. Obviously, we already have one of them and one other one in a beta release, but proper releases of everything would be really cool, and I'm definitely staying hopeful for it. Either way, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. No psych fun fact today because the semester starts soon and, you know, it's getting a little too real to do another psych fun fact. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. I thank all of you for liking and commenting on this video. I really appreciate that each and every one of you watching actually did that. But with that, I'll see you guys all next time. Later.